Deciphering Decentralization, Ethers, Bitcoins, and Blockchains for Plebs. For further research, here are the resources I used to create this essay. The Basics of Bitcoins and Blockchains by Anthony Lewis, Blockchain Radicals by Joshua Davila, Broken Money by Lynn Alden, and the platforms discussed include Zapper, a Web3 explorer, Farcaster, a protocol for decentralized social apps, and Lens, social layer for Web3. In 2006, Julian Assange launched Wikileaks, a platform dedicated to revealing censored documents about global issues including war and corruption. In 2010, Wikileaks released a series of controversial documents, including videos showing US helicopter pilots shooting and killing civilians in Baghdad, along with hundreds of thousands of classified military and State Department documents revealing misconduct, cover-ups, and systemic corruption. In response to the leaks, there was immense governmental and political pressure to shut down Wikileaks. As a result, several major financial institutions, including PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, and Bank of America, blocked payments to Wikileaks. They stopped processing donations and transactions which the organization relied on to operate. Assange has since faced various forms of arrest, torture, imprisonment, and legal battle for over a decade. He is currently in a UK jail with deteriorating mental and physical health. Regardless of your take on counterterrorism, WikiLeaks, or Assange, I think most will agree that this situation is less than ideal. Let's eat the cake, too. Cryptocurrencies are popular mostly because they have made people rich. This is unfortunate, but perhaps a necessary step to grab the attention of the wider public. Anyhow, the coins and currencies are just digital assets that sit on top of far more important innovations. Imagine a multi-layered chocolate cake with a single cherry on top. Much of the world is only aware of the very top, the cryptocurrencies or coins. We bicker and speculate over the worth of the cherry, while failing to notice the entire cake underneath. This essay will focus on the cake, specifically the lower layers of blockchain and cryptography technology and innovation. The goal of this essay is to highlight how these innovations can help us create a better world. Disclaimer: understanding the bottom layers of the cake won't make you instantly rich, but they are far more likely to bring you wealth over a longer time horizon. Let's start by defining and separating three different terms: blockchains, cryptography, and cryptocurrencies. Blockchains are a form of distributed ledger technology. It sounds confusing, but it really isn't. It becomes confusing because blockchains and blockchain technology can mean different things to different people in different contexts. When we use digital money, your bank app or PayPal account, or a service or platform that requires information about your identity, like your social media app, someone needs to maintain a record of the information, a ledger. Ledgers can be centralized, maintained and controlled by a single entity, or distributed, maintained and controlled by a wider group of non-centralized owners. Imagine you sold me your old car, and I needed to transfer you payment digitally. My bank needs to deduct the money from my balance, while your bank needs to add it to yours, and both banks need to maintain their own record of this happening. If you and your new squeeze update your Facebook profiles to show you've entered a relationship, Facebook needs to update both of your profiles and maintain a record of this. These are centralized ledgers because a single entity owns and maintains the record. This is a massive problem that we don't talk about enough. In fact, we've come to accept that it's just normal. Blockchains and cryptography allow records of information to be stored and shared by a decentralized and distributed group of participants. Let's repeat that, it's very important. Blockchains and cryptography allow records of information to be stored and shared by a decentralized and distributed group of participants. No middleman. There is no such thing as the blockchain. There are different types of blockchains with different operating manuals. For the purposes of this essay, we'll only mention two: the Bitcoin blockchain and the Ethereum blockchain. The Bitcoin blockchain is a decentralized ledger that records all Bitcoin transactions. There are nodes and miners who perform the bookkeeping roles. They maintain the ledger. You can think of a node just as a computer that runs some software and keeps a copy of every transaction, and a miner as a special type of node that validates transactions and adds them to the blockchain. The system isn't perfect, but with the necessary tools, anyone can become a node or miner. This means a decentralized group of participants can maintain a ledger and allow any user to send Bitcoin to another user without a single middleman. At time of writing, there are over 10,000 Bitcoin nodes spread across the world. It could certainly be more decentralized, but it sure as hell is better than a single entity like Facebook or a central bank controlling the record. The Ethereum blockchain. The Ethereum blockchain not only acts as a ledger recording all transactions, but also allows developers to create and add logic to the blockchain, smart contracts. These contracts can be switched on by sending Ether to them, kind of like adding some coins to a jukebox to play your favorite song. This opens a world of possibility and the opportunity for us to recreate any application that needs to store or transfer personal information, from decentralized savings accounts to social media platforms. Lens and Farcaster are two great examples of ecosystems allowing the creation of decentralized social media platforms. Cryptography. This is the fancy mathematics that allows me to encrypt, scramble, a message and only have it read, decrypted by you. Imagine for a minute that you are a private and seductive woman named Alice. You want to send a secret text to your lover, Bob. Let's meet Bob, wink wink. But you want to keep the information private to protect the message should it fall into the wrong hands. So you and Bob both agree on a simple rule. Shift each letter one place forward in the alphabet. For example, A becomes B. You write the message, shift the letters, encryption, and send it to Bob. He shifts the letters back, decryption, and reads the message. Magic. Modern cryptography is far more complicated and performed by computers, not humans. But this mathematical computation is what allows us to set up accounts and transact without needing a bank or middleman. Your cryptocurrency balance, everyone else's balances, and all the transactions ever made since the beginning of time are recorded and public for anyone to see. The transactions are not privately hidden with cryptography. The opposite, they are open for anyone to see. The cryptography is only used to confirm and send information between users and add that information to the blockchain. You and I can literally search the Ethereum wallet addresses of Snoop and find all transactions ever made to or from that address. Here's one of the DOGG's wallet addresses. And here's an amazing tool to better visualize wallet addresses and transactions, Zapper. Cryptocurrencies are the digital assets, coins, that are made possible by blockchain and cryptography technologies. As discussed above, the ownership and transfer, the ledger of these coins, are recorded across tens of thousands of independently operated computers around the world rather than a single centralized entity. When transactions happen, they are verified by a decentralized network of computers, bundled into blocks with other transactions, and added to the blockchain. There are lots of different cryptocurrencies on top of lots of different blockchains using different cryptographic methods and verification processes. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum have their own blockchains and their own cryptocurrencies, Ether and Bitcoin, often called ETH or BTC. Some confusion arises because of the terminology. As an example, when most people say Ethereum, they are referring to the cryptocurrency Ether. But Ethereum could mean the Ethereum blockchain, or it could mean the Ethereum ecosystem, including all the people and applications that make it work. Remember, Ether and Bitcoin are just the cherries on top of the cake. The blockchains and everything that make them work underneath are the important parts. Better technologies for a better world. For the very first time in history, we're able to use an open electronic system to send information and money directly to each other all over the globe without going through a centralized institution like a bank or social media company. This is the most important technological innovation since the internet. Our lives revolve around digital records of information, whether it's your bank balance, your passport, your phone service, or your social media account. These records of information are becoming increasingly centralized. Those who maintain the records, like central banks or giant social media platforms, are under immense pressure from entities like shareholders and politicians with goals and objectives that don't align with the broader population. If this continues, it's just not going to end well. Cryptocurrencies themselves are of little importance. The cryptography and blockchain technologies can help us remove the risks of centralization and create a more open, fair, and efficient world.